it's Tawney. In today's video we're going to be talking about drugstore products under $10 that I think you should spend your money on. Now, when people think of drugstore they think of affordable makeup, but affordable could mean something different from you, to me, to this person over there, to that person over there, because YouTubers who have a large platform can buy their makeup and can spend their money at Sephora. Affordable is like a $60 foundation, whereas to me affordable is like a $5 foundation with a coupon. So the products I'm talking about are things that you can find at Walmart, Ulta, and CVS, potentially Walgreens / Rite Aid, but I don't ever shop there, so I'm not totally don't bet that these items will be there, if that makes sense. But yeah, and I went with products that were already under $10, not like under $10 after the coupon, because I know that some people can't get coupons. Like if you only have a Walmart around you, using coupons on products is very rare. Like usually I only find coupons for L'Oreal products because they're on the product and you usually are buying something old or that they're getting rid of, or they're going to put something new in its place, so they're just trying to get rid of what's there. But yeah, we're going to jump right into it. First product I'm going to talk about is the Hard Candy Smoothing Primer Balm. I know you've heard me talk about it 1,000 times, but I honestly think it's so good. And it is only $7.94 on Walmart's website, which is where I bought it at, which is why I'm going to reference it, But I think you can get it even cheaper. I think maybe online it was priced a little bit higher. But I think it's a very good primer because it helps to smooth at the same time it minimizes pores. And I think it also just adds a very nice base for your makeup. Because my face doesn't feel tacky. It feels a little bit velvety. I just really like the way it sits on my skin and the way it holds my foundation to my skin. I think it's one that if you're gonna go with a poreless putty primer type thing, I would go with this one. I know a lot of people like the Makeup Revolution one or the E.L.F one. And I know the E.L.F one is probably under $10. I think it's $6 or so. So I guess it's just what you can find, what your preference is of brands and stuff. But I think the Hard Candy one works a little bit better in my opinion. And I feel like you need less from the Hard Candy one than you do the E.L.F one. So the foundation we're going to talk about today is the Wet n Wild Dewy Photofocus Foundation, which is $6.49 on Ulta's website. Now, this is a fabulous, I don't know why I said fantabulous, but it is a very good foundation. And I don't feel like you need a whole lot. I know it's going to seem like I'm slathering on an entire face worth. I tried not to do that because you pretty much only need 5 dabs, and then you can smooth it around your face. Where's my brush? That is not my brush. Oh my gosh, my foundation brush. I found it. Okay. But this is a really good foundation because it's full coverage. I would consider full coverage, and I'm somebody that obsesses over full coverage, and it is dewy, but it's not the Flower Beauty liquid foundation. It's not like that one. I thought that one was way too dewy for me. So if you're an oily skin type like I am, I think you could get away with using this very well. And I think that it adds a nice sheen to your skin throughout the day without making your skin look too greasy or your oils come out too much. I think you can still see my face through it, but it does cover up what I need it to cover up. I mean, this pimple I don't feel is ever going to get covered up. I put concealer on it. I try and spot conceal and do all that stuff, and it just never seems to work. So I'm just gonna, it was meant to be there, so it's going to be there. So yeah, I really like this one. I think if you're gonna rate all of the drugstore dewy foundations, I think this one would probably be at the top of my list. I do like the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Hydrate. The Physicians Formula Healthy one, which isn't really considered dewy, I think is good. The L'Oreal Fresh Foundation, I haven't worn it in a minute, but I think it's very good. I mean, it's not considered dewy, but it's a really good yeah, foundation. I was gonna say highlighter, and I didn't know what I was thinking, but yeah. So, and that's one I like to keep on my desk. I keep thousands of makeup products on my desk, but that's one that I keep out because I use it constantly. The concealer I'm going to talk about is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Dark Eraser for dark circles. I don't know why they need all that big name. This is the concealer version, not the foundation version. There is a foundation that's twice the size, but I don't really recommend it. I haven't used it, but I've heard bad things about it. This concealer is $9.99, so it was on the peak, but I feel like you can find it slightly cheaper at Walmart, because I know that Walmart is a lot cheaper than if you were to go to Walgreens or CVS or any other pharmacy like that. I think this is a good one because you can use it to like cover a lot of things. They have a brightener and they have an illuminator, I believe, so you can use it that way. I'm going to use it as an eyelid primer or an eyeshadow primer just for today because I'm not expecting my makeup to last a long time. And I know it seems like I'm putting on a lot, but it just doesn't look like a lot in the mirror, and I want it to cover. I don't like the sponge, and when I first got it, I cut the sponge off, and then I was like, why did I do that? And then I had one that didn't have the sponge. And I mean, it's not bad to apply it, but I feel like a lot of the product gets stuck in the sponge, and then you end up not getting all of the product out because it's in the sponge. Or it like sits and gets all gross in the sponge, which that kind of worries me. But I feel like for a drugstore product, it's like, not saying it's okay if it goes bad because you'll just buy another one because you shouldn't have to do that. But I think that like, you're not spending a whole lot of money that it would be like the worst thing. You know what I mean? Like, I would definitely be upset if it did, but I've had this for so long and I haven't noticed anything weird with it. So I think that it's like, it'll be okay, and it's been okay for how long I've had it and whatnot. But I think it like, it hydrates where I want it to hydrate. It covers what I need it to cover. Like, I have a bit of like sheen. I mean, I know it's coming from my highlighter, but like my concealer, like I've pulled down and stuff. And I think like, if you wanted a lighter shade, you could get a lighter shade. If you were like a more light to medium rather than like fair to light, you could get away with using the brightener. But I know the brightener is a bit pink, and if you're like lighter than the brightener, it doesn't really work for you because it's going to be too deep for your skin tone. So I found that I can't really use that one. My powders I have today, I have a loose setting powder and a pressed powder. The pressed powder I have is the Rimmel Stay Matte powder. And this is one that I would say it is mattifying, but it's not one that's going to make you feel like dry or cakey or make your makeup feel like too tight against your skin. It just keeps the oils at bay enough that it lets your foundation and your like makeup shine. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to worry about your oils like ruining your makeup for the day. I typically do like to use something like this whenever I'm wearing a more dewy foundation, just because I do get very oily right in through here and on my forehead. So I just like to combat that with the matte powder. And that one retails for $6.95. And then I also have the Fit Me powder from Maybelline. I don't know why I was going to say Wet Wow, but it's the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder, and it is $7.99. Mine is in the shade 05 Fair. I don't think they have a translucent in this. I don't think, because I would have bought it. Because I would prefer translucents more so than like a color, but that's just my personal opinion. Oh, and all the brushes I'm using today, I'm pretty sure are underneath $10. The brush I used for my foundation was a Real Techniques brush, and this is the E.L.F. powder brush. So I try and keep my brushes very like affordable. I mean, because I don't like to spend the money on brushes, but that's just my opinion. Now, I'm not going to be baking. I'm just going to be like wiping this over my skin and then like blending out. Like, I start on my under eyes and just kind of like work my way with the rest of the product down my face, because I mostly just care about my under eyes being like with the powder, like having the powder on them and stuff. And then the beauty blender, or the blender I was using, is the Real Techniques Face and Body, or the body one, which I know that one is like $8 or $9 or so, depending on the price of it now. I've had mine a while, although I was lucky to get mine when they switched it from the orange to the pink. So I think my actual orange one might have gone bad, and I think that's why I have the pink one, because I think it might have gotten like, it looked kind of moldy. I couldn't tell if it was makeup or if it was mold, and I don't know if I still have the thing, because I think I kept it because I was like, maybe I'm going to cut it open and like look around at it, and, or just cut that part off. And no, I'm just like never going to use it again, because it freaks me out. I mean, this happened before the virus and everything, so it was like when things really did, you know, like things weren't concerning, but you were still kind of like, oh my gosh, should I be using this? And I mean, and now you're just like, don't use it, throw it away. You know, like, I don't know. This virus has made everybody like, we've all been stir crazy for months, and now we're just crazy, and the world, you know, bad things are happening, and it's a rough time. And yeah, that's why we're talking about makeup. I mean, I started my YouTube channel in the middle of this pandemic, so I mean, we're here talking about makeup. I'm gonna go to my brows now. I have the LA Girl Shady Slim Brow Pencil. I don't even feel like I need to look at the name because I've been using this product for so long. This one I found on Wet n Wild's website for $5.99, but I feel like you can pay a lot less for this and not saying like elsewhere, because I've only ever bought it at Ulta, I believe, because my CVS that I go to, like the two in my area, one's sketchy, one's not so sketchy, and they don't carry LA Girl, so I have to go to either a Walgreens that's like half an hour away, or the, okay, never mind, I'm just gonna use this mirror, or I go to a CVS that's like 45 minutes away. So I typically just buy these products at Ulta when, you know, I mean, I do have to go out of town to go to the Ulta that has this, because mine does not carry LA Girl, which I'm hoping it will, because they just recently took out the Morphe products, so I'm hoping that means that, like, they just put in Essence, so I'm hoping that LA Girl will follow, and I'm also hoping they'll put more Physicians Formula in, because right now they have, like, more older stuff, and I'd like to see a lot of their, like, newer products on, like, display as well, because I think Physicians Formula is a great brand, and I almost wish they would, like, display it more often in Ulta so that people would start using it, because their products are so good, and even though they're a little overpriced, like, I mean, like, some of their stuff's like $14.99, and that's kind of pricey for, like, a, you know, a bronzer and stuff, but I hit pan in mine because I used it every day, and that was before I got into, like, before I was, like, super into makeup and stuff, and I got a coupon at CVS, so I mean, I sit here and say that Ulta needs to get Physicians Formula products, like, push them, and then I go to CVS and buy it, but I mean, I didn't have my Ulta at the time, so I guess I can't really, you know, but, yeah, I really like this product, and I think it comes in a wide variety of colors, and for such an affordable price, like, you don't need to go out and buy an expensive brow product. And then the tinted gel mascara I'm going to be using is the Essence Make Me Brow. This is in the shade Brownie Brows. I don't know why I'm telling you the shade, because it's not like it's, I haven't told you the shade of anything else, but it was $2.99 at Ulta's website, and I don't think I paid anything more than this whenever I bought it either. Sorry, my nose is itchy. But I really like this. I don't think it's my favorite, but if you're on a budget and you, like, can't afford the brow pencils or the pomades or the powders, I think this is the way to go, especially if you have brows like I do, where you don't really need to fill them in, or, like, even if you need to fill them in just a teeny bit, like, I like to just fill in the areas that are a little sparser than others, and I think that's where this would help, because it could end up, like, it would just fill in that space with color, and I think that would be a cheaper alternative than buying, you know, the pencil and whatnot. My eyebrows, I swear I got them done not that long ago, because, I mean, my hair's not that bad, which means I haven't, I think I went the beginning of June, maybe. I don't know. I waited a while before I went back to my hairstylist, just because I wanted to, like, have all the crazed, you know, people that are like, oh my gosh, I need my hair done now. I wanted to let them get in before I decided to go and make my appointment, because with everything going on, I'm just like, my hair, you know, it needed done, but it didn't, like, it wasn't that noticeable that people were like, oh my gosh, are you gonna get your hair done soon? So at least I didn't have to worry about that. The eyeshadow palettes I'm going to be using today, I've used a lot in my most recent videos as well, and they're the E.L.F. bite-sized eyeshadow palettes. I'm going to be using Cream and Sugar, which is this one. That's more of a brown neutral, light neutral, I should say, formula. It has 2 shimmers and 2 mattes. And then I'm also going to be using Rose Water, which has 1 matte and 3 shimmers. And I think I want to go for a more pinkish look, because I feel like it would match my shirt. And also just because that's, like, the mood I'm feeling in today. But, and I'm, oh, I don't know where the brush is. No. I found the brush. Oh my gosh, okay. So this is my, like, all-time favorite E.L.F. brush. And it is the E.L.F. contour brush. And it looks like this. I'm going to show you the tip. It looks like this. It has, like, a round domed edge. And I use it for my eyeshadows. And it is, like, my all-time favorite eyeshadow brush. I was going to say pencil, but it's a brush. And this is one you can find at Walmart or anywhere they carry E.L.F. And I believe the brushes are $5 to $10. Sometimes you can get cheaper ones. I know their old brand and the white handles are a little bit cheaper, like $2 to $5. And I still think those are, like, decent. So if you need a brush and you don't want to spend a whole lot of money, you can get those and they'll work. They're not the greatest, but I think that they, like, work for, you know, if you need to do makeup and you just want to do like an all over wash of color or something. I think that would be like a good one to use. I was going to use a Morphe brush, but Morphe's not really available. Like I said, my Ulta is getting rid of Morphe products, and I don't want to push something that might be hard for people to get. Plus, having to spend $75 on a website to get free shipping is outrageous. So I don't want to push a brand that's going to, like, you're going to have to spend $75 just to get free shipping, because that's not affordable. You know what I mean? Like, there's websites I haven't bought from because I didn't want to spend all that money for the free shipping. But I didn't want to pay the shipping, but then I didn't want to spend $50 or $75 or however much money to get free shipping. So then I just ended up not buying from the brand or whatever. But, which that kind of stinks. But I'm going in with this like light dusty mauve shade and using that as my crease shade. It's not completely like deep enough for like a transition shade, but I'm just going to use it there anyway and hope that it like does something. It doesn't really look like it's showing up a whole lot. I think if you like build it up a little bit, it'd be fine. I think these eyeshadows are great, and these retailed at Ulta's website for $3 a piece, and I think that's what I paid. I bought these at my local market, like an actual physical, like you go in and buy food and stuff, and they were, I believe, $3, but there they tend to charge more for makeup. Like a lot of, like, not their food is overpriced or like you pay more there. I know you pay more there than you do at Walmart, but they carry different things that Walmart doesn't quite carry, and they have their own brand and they sell that, whereas Walmart, you know, have their own brand and stuff and things like that. But yeah, I'm just putting that in my crease, just trying to like deepen it up from what it is now. Not like I'm deepening up anything more than like, it's not really doing a whole lot, as you can tell, but it's doing something. I'm gonna go on the side again. I don't really feel like you need to build these up a whole lot. I think this shade is just one that it's so close to my skin type that it's not showing up very well, which that happens when, you know, when they make colors that match your skin type or slightly a tint different, you know. I think I'm actually going to go into this deep shade in Rose Water that has a little bit of sparkle. I was hoping it would be one like the ColourPops where they have sparkle, but then the sparkle goes away whenever you put it on your lids. It kind of looks like it's going to do that. I really hope it doesn't have the sparkle, because then it would make me not want to like put it on my outer lid. But I was really looking forward to like a purple, deep, purple pinkish mauve kind of look. Yeah, that looks nice. It's showing up a little dark on the camera, but that's fine. I think this is really cool. Like, this is a really cool shade. I really like that. I think it looks really good on my eye too, if I do say so myself. But yeah. So I'm just putting that on my outer corner and blend, 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 blend. That is the key to doing your makeup well. It's one that I just now found out about not too long ago, apparently. I mean, I heard about it, and then I just didn't do it because I'm like, well, I'm not a makeup person. I mean, I just do my makeup every day. I didn't wear makeup today. I woke up and was just like, well, I woke up at like 6:30, read a book on Wattpad. She then took down a chapter that was new, so like, thank goodness I read it when I did. And I mean, she didn't upload it, like, it wasn't anything different, because I went back and reread it once it was like fully uploaded, you know, at the normal, what she wanted it to be, and it wasn't any different. So I didn't miss out on anything by reading it earlier, or like read a crappy chapter or whatever. But she always uploads super early in the morning, so that was kind of exciting to read that. And then I went back to sleep, and then woke up an hour later, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm running late. Like, it was later than what I wanted to wake up at. And if I would have done my makeup, I would have been like a lot later to work than I was. And not that I have to be there at a specific time, but the earlier I get there, the earlier I can leave. Although I like to stay later so that I don't have to be there as long on Fridays, because like nobody is there on Fridays, and then it just like, I get lonely when I'm the only one there, because I'm the only one that didn't manage my time the rest of the week, you know? But it's not like blending out as well on my right eye, but I think that's just because it's my right eye. Not because there's anything wrong with the shadow. I think it's just the way my eye looks and the way my eye functions. My eyes are really weird, like as you can tell, they're very like hooded, I guess, and I can't really do like super nice looks with them, with my eyelids and like eyeshadows and stuff, because it just doesn't, like, the whole eye like collapses, and then like you can't see anything, and then it's like, I mean, I could do stuff around my brow, but my mom once told me when I put stuff around my brow or like higher up on my eye, she's like, your stuff's way too high in your eyes. And not that I care, but like, you know what I mean? People that aren't familiar with YouTube don't understand makeup. That, like, if you watched a YouTube video of somebody doing their makeup and then you recreated it, people like that don't know about YouTube are like, why are you wearing your makeup like that? Why does it look like that? Like whenever you like put color on your lower lash line, people are like, why is it like that? Why does it look like that? Like, they don't know. I'm gonna do my my inner and outer corners, well, my inner and brow bone, and just gonna blend that out a little bit so it's not quite as harsh. I like it being harsh. I honestly don't mind. The highlightier the better, that's what I always say, but sometimes it doesn't always look quite as natural, so the best way to do that is just to blend and like buff it out. That's a YouTube term. I mean, it's not really, but people say it a lot on YouTube. So if you want to feel like a YouTuber, say buff it out a lot. Now I'm going to go with my finger because, side note, well, tip basically, is glitters, shimmers, and metallic type shadows and things like that work better with your fingertips than they do with a brush. Although, you could spray your brush with a setting spray and then go in with it, and then it will help make it a little bit better to, like, easier to apply. And you could also go in with a glitter glue, and it will help it stick to your lashes, or help it stick to your lids. And I like the NYX one. I don't think it was more than $10. So if you want to test that one out, I know a lot of people like the Anastasia Beverly Hills one, but then again, that one's more expensive, and when you're trying to stay under $10, you're going to go with one that's under $10. So we're just going to put that on the inner corners. I really like the way that looks. Really, really like that. That would look really good going to work and doing my makeup like that. I really like the way it transitions into the dark shade. I think it looks really cool. Like, it has that like multi-dimension because it's like mixture of the two. Yeah, I really like those palettes. I like the cream and sugar one because it's a very basic brown one, and you can use it with like any kind of like everyday look. And then if you want to go for something more pink or purple, you could use rose water. And I think this one also would really be good with, like, if you had another eyeshadow palette or some other just regular single pan palettes, or what, you know, like your single eyeshadows, you could always use that in, like, use it with those. That's what I'm trying to get at. The bronzer that I'm going to talk about today is the Maybelline City Bronzer, and it is, trying to find it on my list. I could have swore, yeah, it's $9.99. I should have known that. I have the shade 200. I think it might be the lightest shade. This one is one I picked up, I believe, from Walmart and or CVS, but I know that both places carry it. It's a really nice one. These are a little bit more like cool tone, which I would prefer in a bronzer just because it adds a little bit more contour to it, whereas a warm bronzer can end up looking a little bit orange, and that's definitely something you want to like make sure you don't buy too deep of a color, or like if you're fair skinned, you don't buy a medium bronzer because it's going to make your skin look very orange, and you don't want orange. But you also don't want to have too much brown and like, or a gray, where it starts to make you look ashy or like ghosty. Unless you're going for that look, then by all means. But if you're not going for that look, stay away. Look at that, warming up the cheeks. I like this one. And this is an Eco Tools brush. I believe it's either bronzer or blush. It's one of the two. I like to typically mix those together, like just use them for other things, just because that's, you know, that's how I do. Sorry about that. But yeah, I just like to put it on my nose. I know you can also use that contour brush that I used from NYX as your contour to like contour your nose and whatnot, but I like to just run it over my nose, and you know, I just feel like that works best for me. It's whatever works best for you. Makeup doesn't have rules, So there's that to go off of. The blush I'm going to use is the Rimmel Max Blush. This is in the shade Sweet Cheeks, and it is $4.28. So it's a great deal. And I bought this at Walmart because Ulta does not carry Rimmel, which is kind of unfortunate because Rimmel's a really good brand. I think they do need a little bit of rebranding when it comes to like their mascaras especially. But then, like, I know some people really do like their mascaras, so I guess it just depends on like your taste. I know, like I said, their Stay Matte powder is really good. They have some good highlight. They have foundations. They have good foundations. I think they have good primers as well. Their lipsticks are very good. I know a lot of people like their lip glosses. I don't care for their brow products, but that's just my personal opinion. But the brand itself is underneath $10 or like 10 to under 10, so it's one I definitely check out. The highlighter I'm going to use today is the Wet n Wild Megaglo highlighting powder, and this is in the shade Blossom Glow, and it looks like this. It's a bit pinky, a little bit like goldish looking, champagne-y, something like that, and it retails for $5.99, but I'm sure you can get it cheaper even at Walmart and things, because Walmart typically sells Wet n Wild for a cheaper price than Ulta does. And they also have very good highlighters, very good foundations. I really like their loose setting powder. Their brow products are good. I don't like their mascaras. Again, like, they're a brand that I just don't think has their mascaras down, but you know, they always have room to grow, room to improve and fix things and whatnot. And then the last thing I'm going to talk about is the Catrice Illuminating Prime and Fine Dewy Glow Fixing Spray, and it retails for $7.99 at Ulta. But I believe you can find this cheaper, although I can only find it at Ulta, so I guess it just depends on when they like lower the price. I thought they sold this brand at CVS, but I don't think they do. That's one you would have to look into. I don't think they do, but not quite sure. Alright, we're all done. I really like the makeup that I used today. I was rediscovering a couple things, using some things I hadn't, used in a while, using some new stuff, some, oldies that I've always been using. Yeah, I definitely recommend all of these products. Definitely go check them out and their brands. Check out some other stuff if you're, you can afford the more expensive things or the cheaper things, definitely go with that. And yeah, that's what I'm going to leave you at today. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and ring the notification bell down below so you get notifications on when I upload. Definitely let me definitely comment down below which products you liked, which products you don't, products that you would recommend, and any other ideas for videos in the future that you would like to see from me, because I'm definitely trying to talk more about drugstore products and more like affordable type. Like if you're on the lower end like I am, trying to talk about products that are good so that way you don't end up buying garbage and stuff that doesn't work. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next video. Bye!